What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another bang. So in today's video, we will be doing a breakdown between the series between the Milwaukee Bucks and Indiana Pacers. Now, this should be an interesting matchup. We got the Indiana Pacers, who are the young and upcoming team, and we got the Milwaukee Bucks, a team that has seen some success over the recent years. So this should definitely be an interesting breakdown. Before we do get into it, I do want to thank all the people who are watching the video. Hey, if you ain't subscribed, subscribe already for top tier NBA content. And without further ado, let's switch over and let's get right into it. Alright, so we have switched over, as you guys can see, and right here I do have the NBA playoff bracket, and as you guys can see on the on the right side, we have the Bucks versus the Pacers. The Bucks are the 3rd seed and the Pacers are the 6th seed. Now, this game hasn't started, as you guys can see. The game that's actually going on right now is the Clippers versus Mavericks. That's live right now. So it was before the series has started, just so you guys know. But with all that being said, let's take a look at the Milwaukee Bucks regular season to see how they matched up against the Indiana Pacers. So let's scroll through it, and we see already that in their first matchup against the Indiana Pacers, they lost 126 to 124. It was a pretty close game, but they came up short by 2 points. As we scroll down, we see that in their second game against the Indiana Pacers, they lost again, 128 to 119. And then they ended up matching up against them again like 5 days later, and they ended up beating the Indiana Pacers 140 to 126. So currently they are 1-2. As we scroll down, we see that they matched up against them 2 more times, so it looks like they played them 5 times, which is crazy. But anyways, and these 2 other times that they faced them, it looks like they lost both of them. The first game, it was 122 to 113, and the next game was 142 to 130. So overall, they were 4-1 against this Indiana Pacers team. Now, another thing we need to notice, just injuries for the team. When it comes to the Milwaukee Bucks, it does say that Giannis Antetokounmpo will be out for the first game. Now, that's definitely some news you do not want to hear at all if you are a Milwaukee Bucks fan. Let's switch over to the Indiana Pacers and see if they have any injuries that should be noted. Benedict Mathurin is out for the season, so pretty much don't have him for this whole season or this whole series. So with that being said, let's keep moving. Let's take a look at the team stats so that we can figure out exactly what both teams are good and bad at. So over here we got the Milwaukee Bucks team stats, and let's just take a look at it, man. When it comes to points per game, they're 4th out of 30, so they do have a top 5 points per game. When it comes to their offensive rating, they are 6th out of 30, so they have a top 10 offense. Opponents' points per game, they are 21st out of 30, and defensive rating, they are 19th out of 30. So overall, they are somewhat of a glass cannon. Offensively, they're very good, but then defensively, it's kind of questionable. It's definitely kind of questionable. Also, we do got to keep in mind that their coach is Doc Rivers. And y'all know what Doc Rivers is known for. I'm going to just say that. That's all I'm going to say, man. But, hey, let's scroll down to the players. Let's talk about the players a little bit. And also the team stats. So, when it comes to team stats, one thing that stands out is the rebounding. They're 9th in the league with rebounding. Defensive rebounding, they're 3rd, so that's pretty good. When it comes to free throw attempts, they're 3rd. When it comes to 2-point percentage, they are 3rd in the league, so that's definitely good. They're efficient in the paint. And when it comes to 3-point attempts and 3-point percentage, they're 5th in attempts. So they shoot a decent amount of threes, and when it comes to the percentage, they are hitting 37% of their threes. So overall, pretty good. And just off those stats, you could tell why this team has a good offense. Now, when it comes to the players, as we know, Giannis, he will not be in the first game, so we could kind of count him out for the first game. And as you can see, he is the leading scorer. He is the most important player on this team. Not having him for that first game, that's definitely going to be a tough game to win. I'm gonna just say that. So with you not knowing if he's going to play this entire season or this entire playoff series, we gotta speak on Damian Lillard, the second most important player on the team. Now, overall, he's been having a struggle of a season, man. Y'all see it, 42% from 3 and 42% field goal, and he's shooting 35% from 3 on 8.5 attempts. Overall, just not too efficient. One thing to notice, he is averaging 7 assists, which is good, but he is averaging 2.6 turnovers. So overall, he hasn't had a great year. I'm gonna just keep it real. Brook Lopez, he's been all right this year. 48% field goal percentage and 36% from 3 on 5 attempts. As we know, he still gets a lot of blocks too, 2.4 on the block. So he's still been serviceable, man. He's been doing what you want. The only thing is that rebounding. He's at 5.2, so you definitely like to see that go up. Some of the role players, man, you gotta. Well, I can't even call Chris Middleton a role player. He's more so was a star, but yeah, you got Chris Middleton, man. You need him to get back to top tier form, man. Let's just keep it real. 15 points per game not gonna cut it. You need at least 20 to 25 out of him. I'm gonna say 25 because you don't really know if Giannis will be playing in this series. He's already out in the first game, so you need 25 out of Chris Middleton. And besides that, you just hope that the role players hit their shots. You know, you hope that Malik Beasley don't go on a shooting slump. You know, you hope that Bobby Porter steps up and takes advantage of the smaller people who may be defending him or the mixed matches that he has. And you just hope these other players play decent defense and hit their threes, the Pat Connaughtons and the Jay Crowders. But besides that, let's switch over to the Indiana Pacers stats so that we can get a better understanding of what they're good at. All right, so for the Indiana Pacers for this season, they were first when it comes to points per game and second when it comes to offensive rating. So they have a top tier offense, man. When it comes to opponents' points per game, they're 27th out of 30. So they also let the opposing team score a lot of points, and defensive rating, they're 24th out of 30. So they're just not that good defensively. They're a glass cannon similar to that Milwaukee Bucks team. Now, one note is that their coach is Rick Carlisle. I'd say that Rick Carlisle, just based on what I've seen, is definitely a better coach overall than Doc Rivers, especially in the playoffs. But let's take a look at the team stats. As we can see, when it comes to field goal percentage, they're at number 1. When it comes to 3-point attempts, they are 15th and 9th when it comes to their 3-point percentage, which is pretty good overall. When it comes to 2-point attempts, they're 3rd and 2-point percentage, number 1. So overall, their offense is just crazy. Let's just keep it real. Their offense is crazy. When it comes to assists, number 1. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. And yeah, man, I think it's the offensive stats that really stand out with this team. Now let's talk about the players. The most important player on this team will be Tyrese Halliburton, man. As we know, this man, he could kind of do it all. He could pass the ball fairly well. He can shoot the ball fairly well. He a jack of all trades, man. What else do you want me to say, man? He is a jack of all trades. Now he's shooting 47% from the field. When it comes to the 3, he's shooting 36% on pretty much 8 attempts, and he's averaging 10.9 assists per game, which is crazy. So great season. You got Pascal Siakam, the new addition to the team, and he's been having a pretty solid year so far, especially with the Indiana Pacers. I definitely think Tyrese Halliburton has helped his game a lot, just because of his passing. You know, Tyrese being more of a focal point compared to Pascal. As you can see, field goal percentage 54%, which is great, and 3-point percentage 38% on pretty much 3 attempts per game. Rebounds at pretty much 8 rebounds and 3.7 assists. So overall, having a good season. As we move on, let's talk about some of these other players, man. You got Bruce Brown. Bruce Brown, he plays solid defense. He's somewhat of a jack of all trades style player too. His field goal percentage 47%, 3-point percentage 32%. You want that to go up in the playoffs. He plays solid defense, like I said before. Jack of all trades, 4.7 rebounds, 3 assists. And also another important player I definitely say is Miles Turner, because Miles Turner, he may have the focal point. He may be the focal point when it comes to guarding Giannis. And also I'd say Obi Toppin too. These 2 players, they will be the main focal points when it comes to guarding Giannis if Giannis plays. So they definitely will be important for this team. And Miles Turner, he's been having a solid year. You know, 35% from 3, 52% field goal percentage, and rebounds, he had 6.9. You like to see that be a little higher, but it's solid, man. It is what it is. It's solid. Now, just to give my breakdown, and just so you know, he averaging 17.1 points. That's nice. But just to give my breakdown and my prediction on these 2 teams and who I think will win. Now, in my opinion, I know a lot of people not go like this, but I got the Pacers winning in 6. The reason I got the Pacers winning in 6 is because, number 1, I don't trust Doc Rivers in the playoffs, man. I just don't. Number 2, Damian Lillard, I think he's just not that good anymore. I'm going to keep it real. He's had a horrible year this year, and I think that age is starting to catch up to him, man. I'm going to keep it real. So that's number 2. Number 3, we don't know if Giannis will be playing this series. He's already not playing the first game, and just not having your best player is definitely going to be, dicey. Also, another thing, man, you don't know what you're going to get out of the second best player on the team in Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton ain't been the same since that injury. So with that being said, I do have the Pacers winning this in 6, man. I think they go get the job done. I think Tyrese Halliburton is going to actually cook. I'm going to say it again. I think Tyrese Halliburton is actually going to cook Damian Lillard this series. Hey, remember I said it. But hey, if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff, and I'm out. Peace.